Hello and welcome back to the Urbanist. I know I said I was going to do videos every Tuesday and Friday, but yesterday was a very important day um, for the Black community. It was Blackout Tuesday, and for Blackout Tuesday, they just don't put any YouTube videos out. It's a day of solidarity for George Floyd. RIP George Floyd. I have lots of thoughts of coming that. Lots of thoughts about that on my live stream on my other channel, Theme Park Wizard, today at 3 p.m. So definitely check that out and go subscribe. So go subscribe to that channel if you like theme parks. But anyway, so today's this week, the video is gonna be on today, which is Wednesday, June 3rd, and Friday, June 5th. Which are two of my family's birthdays. This is funny. But this video, we're gonna talk about mass transit. Mass transit does a lot. Um, does a lot to for a city. A city really can't grow without mass transit. You just can't have freeways everywhere. Even Los Angeles has tons and tons of mass transit. LA has the third largest transit system in the United States. It has the ninth busiest heavy rail subway system in the United States and the um, second busiest heavy rail light rail system in the United States. So even a whole area dedicated to its freeways has lots of mass transit, and I'm going to show you some of those modes of mass transit in Los Angeles in this video. So far there are several modes of mass transit. There's commuter rail, light rail, which is sometimes a trolley, a tram, or various versions of a streetcar, a heavy rail, which is a subway, elevated rail, or anything grade separated, fully grade separated. There's bus transit, bus rapid transit, which is a bus that has its own dedicated lane or road, and there's just a regular bus line. The simplest form of transit. There's also bikes, but I said this video will be a mass transit, so any type of transit. There's like bike sharing that's getting popular. Um, that's not really mass transit, so let's go ahead. Starting off with commuter rail, this is basically used to travel long distances. It's usually a city center to a suburb. So example for here in Los Angeles, the commuter rail, the Grand Central Station of the West would be called a Union Station. That's the big hub for commuter rail in downtown Los Angeles. A lot of people use that to get to work today, and they transfer to the local rail lines to get into the city center. But if they want to go to, because LA County is huge, 10.1 million people. Also, it's one of the biggest counties, like using like square mileage to get from one end to the other end. It could take about an hour and a half without any traffic at all. So we need definitely lots of commuter rail to get to and from the downtown Los Angeles, especially because people live in different counties but also work in downtown Los Angeles as well. So yes, the commuter rail, it's called Metrolink from it goes from down Union Station. Here's a picture. It goes from Union Station to via 5 lines over 500 miles of rail over 5 lines. Goes all the way to Lancaster. Goes to Orange County. Goes to Ventura County here, Chatsworth, and LA County, which is close to Ventura County, and a whole host of and also it actually goes to Santa Barbara, the Ventura County line, goes close to get transfers to something, bring it to Santa Barbara. It's amazing, and it's currently actually being electrified and expanded. The ridership's low, should be much higher than it really is, but it covers a lot of ground. It goes to Riverside County, Orange County, and San Bernardino County, which are very far. It could take hours to get there by car, but via these trains, it takes only 45 minutes to an hour. So that's fantastic. Commuter rail is very important to the Southern California economy. Next is light rail, and in Los Angeles and the Southern California, only LA County really has light rail. Orange County is working on the first streetcar, so in a couple years they'll have light rail. Really, only LA County has light rail. This usually travels at grade. It usually mixes in traffic and has sometimes it's grade separated, sometimes it's traveling on streets, but it usually also kind of stops like a streetcar, so it stops at red lights for cars. If there's no signal priority, and signal priority is when a train's coming, the light turns green. If they don't have that, it'll stop at red lights, which is something heavy rail and commuter rail do not do. There's multiple stops in the city, in the city centers, within the intra-city, and into the suburbs as well. There's usually multiple different lines you connect to, and it usually connects to heavy rail and commuter rail. It's definitely slower than heavy rail and commuter rail, but it's faster than the bus. On its fastest, it can go to about 65 miles per hour, which is what multiple of our light rail lines do in Los Angeles when they're on their grade separated sections, like in the middle of freeways or um, on aerial segments, or some of our light rail trains, most of them actually go up below ground at one point or another, which is very unusual for light rail, and that's why it's a little bit different here in LA. And they have lower capacity trains. We usually have 3-car trains, which is like the highest capacity can do. But our heavy rail, our subway has at least 6 to 8 cars per train. And here's an example of the recently, well, not too recently, but the latest light rail line to open in Los Angeles. It's the Expo line. It goes from downtown Los Angeles to Santa Monica. It's one of the busiest rail lines in the United States. It connects 2 major city centers, and the 10 freeway is constantly from the 10 freeway, the segment from Santa Monica to downtown, specifically what we call the East LA interchange. It's one of the busiest, constantly ranks as the top 3 busiest freeways in the world. So this rail line is much needed and is one of the most popular um, rail lines in Los Angeles and in the country. Just 4 years after it fully opened, it had 2 phases. The first phase opened to halfway to Culver City, 2012, and in 2016 it finished the complete line to Santa Monica. 4 years later, before this pandemic, it was the trains were overcrowded, and really almost should have been a heavy rail line. And speaking of heavy rail, here is heavy rail. Heavy rail is the most efficient mode of transit inside and outside of a city center. These are fully grade separated lines. So there's no stopping at red lights. There's no waiting for cars going either underneath the ground or above the ground or even at grade. But usually that's like next to a freeway or something where they can just put it at grade because it's the cheapest thing to do. And it's super high capacity, can carry hundreds of people at one point. Like I said, our trains in LA usually have 6 to 8 cars. New York City has like 20 cars. It's very, very popular and usually the favored mode of transit, like I said, inside a city center. Here's an example of the Los Angeles Red Line here in LA, which travels from the Valley, North Hollywood, all the way through Hollywood and by Universal Studios, has a stop at Universal Studios, and over to Union Station, through downtown Los Angeles, and through 7th Street Metro Center, which is one of the busiest busiest metro stations. Definitely our busiest metro station here in Los Angeles, but one of the busiest metro stations in the country. Bus rapid transit is very interesting. It's just a bus, but it has its own dedicated lane, or in the case of the Orange Line, which I'll show you right now, has its own route. It has its own route. Still stops for red lights, but actually the Orange Line has signal priority like a light rail line sometimes does. So the lights actually turn green about 90% of the time. So it's really, really fast, the Orange Line, and it's basically like a train on wheels, is what they call it. It's the best example, a world-leading example, actually, when it opened in 2005, as what bus rapid transit could be. And here's an example of the bus Orange Line here in Los Angeles. As you see, it has these light rail-looking stations, as amenities of a train station, but it's just a bus. And there's something similar in Seattle in the downtown tunnel as well. And lastly, just a plain old city bus. These are still very important because it connects the small city buses connect you to the major nodes, and it's good in between that first mile, last mile situation. When first mile, last mile is when you go ahead, let's say you're getting off the subway or getting off the bus, but you have a mile to your house or 5 miles to your house or 3, and it's kind of too far to walk or too far to bike, or you can either bike it or you can just take the bus, which usually has several stops if you're a local bus, and there's Metro Rapid or Bus Rapid that has fewer and far in between stops But so it's low capacity per bus, but those 40-foot buses, maybe put like maybe 60 people. But if you have a lot of buses on a line where they can come to high frequencies, it can actually be pretty efficient. And here's one of those high frequency buses, the 761 in Westwood. It's a Metro Rapid bus, not a bus rapid transit, but it has fewer stops than the local line, but still travels on the same streets, the same route. And I see it's the 60-foot buses, and it has the 60-foot articulated buses they call it. And it has also outdoor boarding, so it increases efficiency as well. Well, guys, that was my video on the types of mass transit. Again, very basic. We get trying to cover all the basic stuff, topics of urban planning. Then, as we get into the later weeks, go a little bit deeper each week. Thank you guys for watching. There's new videos every Tuesday and Friday. We'll be back to our normal schedule on Friday, June 5th, then Tuesday, June 9th. As always, email me or comment any questions or topics you'd like me to do on a video, on in the comments below, or on my email, ethan.theurbanist@gmail.com. Like and subscribe for more great videos. And as always, have a beautiful day.